everyone. Welcome to On This Table. On This Table is the show where we bring you issues confronting life and the world at large, and of course, bring possible solutions to these life issues. My name is Joy Duxane, and this is Kingsprime TV. Today, we have a very exciting topic to talk about. But before we continue, let's go on this very quick break. I'll be right back.
Kingsprime TV is a one-stop entertainment website for live sports, news, reality shows, and top-notch Nollywood movies. Log in to our website www.kingsprimetv.com or download our app on any of our iOS devices or your Android phones, any one of them. Just download and you get your movies and all entertainment stuff just the way you like it. Welcome again to Kingsprime TV.
Welcome back. Now, the reason why most people get married, for some people, it is for companionship, but for some others, it is for reproduction. However, some persons are fortunate enough to have their own children, but for some other persons, somehow they still want to be patient, believe in God that one day they will have their children. Also, some people feel that instead of waiting to have their own children, why not adopt and have at least a child anyway? Okay, now these adopted children, do they have stigma? Are they being stigmatized? If yes, what is the reason for this stigma? Why do people place stigma on these adopted children? How do people perceive children that are being adopted? This is what we're going to be talking about. How do people perceive adopted children in Nigeria? And as usual, I am not in the studio alone. I have someone I'm going to talk to. She is an educationist, a social worker who has been working with the youth for over 8 years. I'm talking about Mrs. Ibiwange Sotonye George. Welcome on the show.
Thank you so much.
You know, there's this thing about my guests. They have this energy, they have this aura that they bring along with them. And I can just see it all over you. First of all, you look amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, so you've been working with youth for over 8 years now.
Yes,
Have
I
you
have.
ever met an adopted child?
Yes, I have. Not just a child, but children.
Okay.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so the first time you heard that this particular child is an adopted child, how did you feel? What was the first thing that registered in your mind?
To be honest with you, I was surprised.
Hmm.
Yeah, initially, because in this part of the world, some things are not normal. I'm sorry. I'm being very realistic. Some things are still strange to us. We are just trying, to pick up. I was surprised, and then the next emotion I experienced was I was filled with a great sense of respect for the
Okay.
couple who adopted this child. Yeah.
Okay, so now, why is it that the society, there's a way they look at adopted children? Does it have to do with culture or something? What exactly is the reason behind people looking at adopted children as strange children?
Okay, when you say the society is a very large word. Okay, but I should believe you're narrowing it down to the Nigerian society.
Yes, the Nigerian society.
Yeah, there's still the stigmatization of such children. Um, Let me give a typical example of such this IVF thing. There are some persons that till today, if you tell them, I got this child through IVF, they'll just look at the child like,
Yes, there's a way they
you
look
know,
at, yeah.
like this child, you just say, buy him, kind of, but there are other climes, in the Western world where it is a norm, it's normal. So gradually we are getting there. Hopefully someday we will learn to accept all of this, including accepting adopted children. But in our society, basically, I think they frown at it for various reasons, maybe cultural reasons, and then some view these children as cursed children. I've actually met someone one-on-one who told her son that since your wife is not able to have a child, you're not going to adopt. Don't go and bring any spirits into this house. Please come and carry my own child and train my own child and let my own child be your child. So she would rather have that one, than you bringing a total stranger, so to say, into their family.
But you know that, okay, now the Bible says train up a child in the way he should grow, and when he's old he will not depart from it. why is this scripture only applicable to just your own child? Why not the adopted child? Can't you train this adopted child to be responsible? Why do people think that it is just my own child and not adopted children?
That's a wrong notion. The scripture doesn't say only your child. Train up a child. The human society, the Nigerian society before now, the child does not only belong to the parents, biological parents now. The society at large, neighbors, could be family members, extended, they are all in the business of grooming that child up to make sure he or she grows up to be a better person. Okay, so that also applies to the adopted child. Whether the child is adopted, whether the child is being fostered, whether the child is being born biologically into the family, we all owe that child the duty of training or grooming the child up in the way he should go.
Okay, so you said something about fostering.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between adoption and fostering?
Okay, fostering is short term. Adoption is a very long term. Fostering, by that I mean that fostering, you could be in charge of someone else's child for a period of time.
Okay.
Let's say a cousin, a nephew, a relative, and then the parent can, or the guardian or whosoever, may decide to let the child go for holidays, or the child on his own may decide to leave at any point. But when you adopt a child legally with all the paperwork done, that child becomes your own. Okay, then that child has a right, carries your name, literally. So that's it.
Everything about the child concerns you. Okay, so do people have to wait for their inability to have their own children before adopting?
No. It's a big no. You do not have to wait. And again, you can also have as many children as you choose to, and then you may still decide to adopt a child. I mean, in my field of work, I've met a whole number of kids who are daily in their little hearts praying for someone or somebody, a guardian angel, to just come up and pick them. So if you're financially stable, if you're okay, have all it takes, and then some persons, their children may already be all grown-ups, they could
and then they decide to
adopt a child, have somebody, take somebody into their care and raise that child. So you must not necessarily wait till maybe you do not have a child, or even if you have a child, you can still adopt.
So even if you have a child,
you
can still adopt. So now you are a mother.
Yes, I am.
Do you think you can, if you adopt a child, do you think you can transfer the same love from your children, the same equal love you have for your children? Do you think you can transfer that same equal love to an adopted child?
Yes, I can.
Without sentiment,
yes, I can because I have seen children. The thing is, when you see children, you look at them like your own. It's when you begin to see them as belonging to someone else, belonging to a stranger, as I speak to you, I have a whole lot of children who still come around me, who I call my children, without doing the paperwork. But someday I really, really wish to have these children in my care. Yes, I can. My heart is large enough,
of course,
to accommodate as many as. Okay, yes, I'm not narrow-minded. My heart is not small. Okay, the body is small, right? But the heart is big.
All right, the body is small, but the heart is big. The conversation still continues. Let's go on this quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
My name is Bukola. I'm a dedicated wife. I'm blessed with 2 beautiful children. I am the creator and the creative director of In Between I Stand. And the beautiful thing about the Kingsprimetv is it's an app. I can decide to use it on my television. I can decide to use it on my phone. And of course I have an iPad. I can decide to use it on my iPad. There is no boring moments with the Kingsprimetv, especially the way it gets me close to my culture day by day. I'm a busy mom, and sometimes I just want to be on my bed alone with my laptop watching the Kingsprimetv. It is the best thing ever. And I'm not connected to just one aspect of the Kingsprimetv. I could decide to watch TV shows like The Big Nigerian Wedding, or probably go for a series. Lots of beautiful things on the Kingsprimetv.
In Africa and beyond, more and more people are finding Kingsprimetv a rich hub for entertainment. With a monthly subscription fee as low as $7.99 US, you too can enjoy seamless, world-class HD entertainment that will inform, educate, entertain, and enthrall you. Join us today. Visit Kingsprimetv.com to enter into a whole new dimension of entertainment. Kingsprime TV. Entertainment just the way you like it.
What are the major obstacles? What are the barriers holding adoption in Nigeria?
Okay, first off, it's once you're able to get your mindset off the Ekwensu syndrome, saying
Yeah.
by that, you know what I mean, right? Saying this child, what will people say? Because sometimes you're well intentioned, okay? You really want to adopt this child to help society for your own peace of mind in case you do not have a child also. But what will people say? People are always like, what will this one say? I don't go buy Peking, you know. So once you get that off your chest, that's the number one obstacle for me. Once you decide to take this child is my own body, soul, and spirit. I want to pour out my love. I want to pour out my care. I want to groom this child to be, you know, whosoever God wants this child to be. Okay, once you get that out of the way, you're good to go. You know, but one of the major barriers again is the process itself. Everything in Nigeria, I try my best to be a good Nigerian
And to always be positive.
You know, being optimistic, everything. But the thing is, in Nigeria, the paperwork, you know, come today, come tomorrow, you know, and then it's supposed to be a seamless process. Okay, the social worker has to come to, you know, inspect your house, you know, make sure your finances are okay, your environment, you know, because there have been cases where people come with good intentions to adopt a child, and then when you take the child home, the child is exposed to a whole lot of negativity. You know, you have all manner of bad things happening to them, sexual assaults, emotional traumas, and all the rest of them. So those of us in the social field, we try our best to see as much as we can see to ensure everything is okay. Then, by the rigorous processes of paperwork, some persons actually get discouraged, and then when you adopt it, you know, your freedom of choice. You see kids maybe from 3 months old or 6 months, you can see some from 6 years old. You know, you can even adopt a child who is as old as 10, 12, as the case maybe. It's your call. Okay, but once you're able to do the paperwork, follow up the process, you're determined. Of course, it should be a seamless process in the first place.
You know, I was really thinking of something. You know, when you adopt a child legally, that child is yours.
Yes.
So in a situation where the child grows up and discover his or her parents, can that particular person, can that child decide to go back to his or her parents, knowing fully well that he or she have been legally adopted?
Okay, now the child is of age, right?
Yeah.
An adult child. Okay, I think everything is possible. It actually happens. Some children may just decide to, okay, since you raised me, there's really no point, especially where the parents are dead, you know. But some, even with dead parents, will still want to know their kingsmen,
know
like
where
a
they're
self
from.
they want to know their self-worth, where they are from, sense of belonging. Okay, so I grew up in Port Harcourt. I've always felt like my parents are from River State, for instance, and then sometime your adopted parents, you know, tells you that you're actually from Cotonou, you know, and you be like, so I'm from Cotonou all this while, and I've been claiming Buguma to be like where I'm from, or I've been claiming Ikwere, so to speak, and then you want to, okay, I'm a human, I really want to discover myself, okay, so when it comes to that point, okay, you can always dialogue, always talk, this is what I want, and then your parents, okay, you're of age, if that's what you want, fine. There's no law, there are no rules against that, okay?
So the child can actually go back to his or her parents.
If he or she wants to. Okay, even those of us that are living with our biological parents, that time I've met a friend who changed his name even. I don't want to answer my father's name again, you know, for whatever family reasons. And then he changed his name to something strange, something new. I mean, it's just a name, right? But it's what you carry with the name or your mindset about the name, that's what matters. So someone can say, okay, I can still bear the name, you know, there's no point to change my name, but I still want to know. And then you, the adoptive parent, that's okay, fine.
Whatever the child wants, because the child has come of age.
Can take
so how do you think the society, Nigerian society, can accept adopted children?
How do I think they can? He's asking me how do I think they can accept IVF. I think gradually things are beginning to work out. Things are beginning to work out. Initially, you don't. If you have a child through IVF, I know of a church, you dare not come and give testimony in church that this child it was through IVF. They are even ashamed to mention it.
So how do we?
They just say miracle working God.
Yes.
But right now, people can actually stand on the altar and say, oh, we tried this IVF, thing didn't work the first 2 years, and blah blah blah, and then God finally did it. So that goes a long way to show you that these people actually welcoming the idea. They are now gradually accepting it. And so that's the same thing with adoption. Initially, be like, don't bring that cursed child. Even if you were about to have a child, the presence of that child will even make the child will even eat up the other children. And then the others can even say, okay, when you bring this child, it can also be a blessing. So different opinions, different views. But it's with the orientation, such as this your beautiful show you have here. I'm sure people are listening, they are watching. So it can also guide their thoughts. If they had a very negative thought about adoption, I'm sure there'll be a rethink, right? And then when you also see that you have the ability to help a child, but not necessarily wait for the child to be picked up in the gutters. Can you walk up to, okay, I want to adopt this child. I want to be in charge of this child. I want to help this child. So gradually, with education, with talking about it like we're doing, to become.
Most adopted child, a lot of them have this low self-esteem, especially when they find out that they were adopted. So, what advice do you have for these children? How do you tell them to get off that mentality of them being bought into a family?
Okay. We keep using this word, but Joy, I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that one.
Okay, but actually, that's
how they perceive it to be. You don't buy them, they're not sweet now. They're humans, they adopt.
Yes, and that's actually the essence of this program, to tell people that no, they are not. We don't buy these children. Okay.
What I preach to them every day, like a sermon for me, I tell every child I work with that basically the way our society is, most persons expect you to fail. Can you please disappoint them? And we laugh about it. So, okay, you're an adopted child, you just look at you, you're a stranger, what can you do? Your blood does not run in your vein. If you like school in Harvard, school in Cambridge, school in wherever, you're still that boy that was picked up, or you're still that girl, child of a prostitute, or your parents were killed by robbers, we picked you from an accident scene, whatever the story, no matter how negative it is, you owe yourself the duty to stand tall above that story. Okay, you owe yourself that duty.
You're responsible for yourself.
Okay, but by the time you allow all those thoughts, all those negativity cloud you, and then surround you, and you just like paper shaft to be waved here and there, you find yourself not standing. But by the time you ignore all of those things, I mean, nobody remembers, nobody cares to know if the rich people in society are, as Dangote is, if you like, walk up to you and say, this boy, I know him, that was picked up. Nobody cares. All they know about is the name. Who is he? What does it stand for? Okay, but where people really be interested in your background is by the time you fail. So I knew he was going to fail. They're expecting you to fail. Okay, so you should just try and share all of that. Believe you me, trust me, I've met these kids, especially one boy. He was doing very well in school. Okay, but his the adoptive father died. Okay, so when it was time to bury the father, he was the only child, he was adopted. They asked him not to do the traditional rites, and this boy wept. They say he cannot do it, let's go and call his brother's son. But when they read the will, the boy everything was willed to this boy, but they still fought him, called everywhere, all say, how can you do this, who are you? But thank God for the man, he was wise. He placed friends, good people that could actually speak for the boy. And at the end of the day, they said, okay, they didn't want me to pour the sand on my father's grave. No problem. At least I still get to oversee his business, which is a good for him. But if you allow such opinions, get to you, you will not succeed. Seriously.
All right. Will the Nigerian society, ever accept adopted children? The conversation still continues. Let's go on another quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Yes, so Namibia Zenda like cut of 50, aka Papa Statue, aka Abula. If I resign you go come and prove yourself. It is called the Unlock Your Talent Show, TV show, reality show. Come and prove how far you can act, sing, or comedy dons. Do you understand that? First prize, no be beans. One car with 500,000 naira cash with 1 year contract with Kingsprimetv. Second prize, 1 million naira with 1 year contract with Kingsprimetv. Third prize, 500k with 1 year contract with Kingsprime TV. How to register?
Visit www.kingsprimetv.com and download the app from Google Play Store or Apple App Store. Pay 1,500 Naira and subscribe. Then using the code generated, log on to www.cradletofame.com and register for free.
Cradle to Fame is brought to you by Kingsprime TV. Register now.
Welcome back. Wow, the conversation has been so interesting. I always say this thing that my guests, they have this energy they bring along with them. And it's so good. It feels so good. We have been talking to Mrs. Ibiwangi Sotoye George. And I have another guest in the house. His name is Mr. OAU. What is OAU, first of all?
I'll advise you not to go there. Really. OAU, they are my initials because my names are they are terrible. Let me put it that way. Being the first grandson of lovely grandparents and the first great grandson.
Oh wow!
So they named me with terrible names. The names were their stories.
Oh okay.
O is Otomi Wechiwe Gbemi Wegboma.
Oh my goodness.
The A is Arayo Aeka Nonga Aneyewe. Then the U is Kwejuajo, my surname. So it's safer as an entertainer to have very simple
Yes,
names.
OAU. without bothering to explain what the initials mean. So you are an all-round entertainer.
Yeah.
Recently, I saw a video of you performing, doing a performance in a concert, and you are a reggae artist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Generally, do you think Nigerians they accept reggae artists? Do you think they love reggae music?
Reggae music is one of the foundation of music in the world as a whole. You know, it has a strong message. It's not just for everybody. We had our peak here in Africa with reggae, with the likes of Bob Marley and the rest. Peter McIntosh and all that, and then we had here to Nigeria, Oris Wiliki, Raskimono and the rest. It was really up there, all them black here and all. Yeah. And then we lost touch. There was a change, and then reggae music tend to fizzle out a little. But you see the matured minds today, they crave reggae music. And I'm even working on a song now that says that reggae is back again.
Hey, I can't wait to listen to that. Reggae is really back again.
It's back again because people are getting slightly tired now of the without message.
Of course.
People just come out, they talk, all kind of, excuse my language, but trash. And all people...
There's no message.
Yeah, it's just the beats, and then they're talking about women in very derogatory manners. They're talking about popping champagne. They're talking about drugs. And
There's
all
really
that.
nothing to
and
pick out of this
things
music.
affect our society. It affects the psyche of the youth. If you see the way the children are going about these days, it's becoming terrible.
Really alarming, yes.
Yeah, it calls for serious concern. When you see kids, they mix all manner of things, and they say, what, science students. They mix them. They get really, really high. Where are you getting high to?
Exactly. That's the question. Where are you going to?
The norm in any larger society is that the musicians, the comedians, the entertainers generally should be seen as role models.
Role models, yeah.
They're supposed to send a message to the people. They're supposed to condemn the ills of society and then uplift the good of society. But unfortunately, Nigeria in particular, we are used to copying purely negative. We throw away the good parts. Look at the social media today. The girls are getting practically naked.
Yeah.
But I'm still proud of the boys, apart from the hair, that's getting
and then their outfits.
Yeah. But you see the boys, they're still clothed. Some of them will have singlet inside, they will have a t-shirt, they will have a long sleeve shirt, put on a jacket. But the girls are throwing off their clothes every day.
Well, you know, this is going to be a topic for another day. Right. Of course, I think I'll have to invite you back so that we'll really talk about this because it's becoming an issue.
Yeah.
So your name, OAU, shows that you're a traditional man.
Typical one. I don't have one single English name.
Good.
None of my parents, and I did it to my kids too. And every time they ask me, so Dad, why don't I have an English name? I say, my father did it to me, so I did it to you. So
they should do it to their children if they like.
Whether they like it or not. Because the truth is, in my place, the father does not name the child. It's the grandfather that names the child.
Okay.
Yeah. So they got no choice. I'm going to give their children strong Shakiri names too.
So, in your culture, do you think your culture accepts adopted children?
The answer is capital letter no.
Why?
We are not exposed to that level yet. We're still, should I say, living in the years of yore. And it's, apart from my own place, generally Nigeria as a whole, Africa, in fact,
Africa.
we are not that exposed to it at all. We've seen situations where people adopt kids because they don't have kids, and then when they get their own kids, they dump the adopted kids.
Yeah.
We've seen so many cases. Some of them, they are being told from their background that if you adopt a kid, God will not bless you with your own kids.
With your own, yeah.
And then when they adopt these kids, and then you're blessed genuinely to have the fruit of the womb, and now the truth remains, it's not really easy to love any other person's kids as much as you will love yours. No matter how, your own direct blood brother's kids, there's just that, it's an unconscious thing. Yeah, it's an unconscious thing, You say that indirectly you may be ruining your kid's life, indirectly, unconsciously, by trying to protect your kid a little. By saying that, look, you should have done this, knowing that your kid did wrong. It's an unconscious act. You tend to want to believe, I got soul, I got big heart, I want to be the best I can be for this kid. But then, you can't, it's like hitting yourself when you hit your own kid, When your kid upsets you at times, I look at my kids, I've been unable to hit them from birth till today. My son is like
of this love.
22 years old boy now. We are friends. We go to the studio. I'm featuring in some of my songs now.
Oh wow, he sings too.
He sings massively. But then growing up, I know sometimes it gets really on my nerves, and I go like, if I slap you, but I know
that you will not slap him,
and he knows. So I tend to use love to correct him. But I knew while growing up, my brother's kids, you misbehave. In fact, you won't dare. Because before you finish the misbehavior, that kind of will slap you. The slap hits you before the final sentence. But it's an unconscious. That's why it's difficult. Then the society cannot even understand it. Cannot understand it. I like the angle where you have a limitation for singles to adopt kids. You understand? Because even some who are married couples, when they adopt, some of these kids are molested. Some of them are maltreated. Some of them, they are left through the night to walk, mop, scrub, while your biological kids are
just there relaxing, doing nothing.
Yeah, there's a story going about right now about one of these female comedians. They call them comedian. I don't know where that word comes from. I searched the dictionary. Rasta can't find it now. Now. So I call them female comedians. One of them, I think she had about 6 kids. She's, should I say, fostering, because the parents are within the vicinity. Her marriage broke. The husband left her heartbroken. And then she lost her kid, the only kid from the marriage. So she decided to foster these kids, 3 boys, 3 girls. And then she went further to assist a comedian today, a reputable comedian. I just want to mention his name here. That guy now has been molesting one of those kids from age 7.
Wow.
And that kid is 14 now.
Wow.
And I am so disgusted and pained to my bones because a whole lot of entertainers are coming out to defend him. And I hate that word when they say, he's innocent until he's proven guilty. When a child...
No, they say allegedly.
I don't even want to hear any grammatical function behind it. The truth remains, the kid has already confessed. The parents have seen it. The police have seen it. What are we still waiting for? All this system, and there's a child going through trauma here. And if you keep frustrating this kind of thing, the process is so frustrating, you will make the other kids not even come out to speak. They're going to be scared. They're going to be ashamed. You are now battering that kid, as far as I'm concerned. You're battering the kid, putting that girl through this process of question and answers and all that. There's a CCTV covering. What are you still alleging? What are you saying until innocent
Proven.
until proven guilty and all that? For me, Babas, such people should not be in the larger society. The reason they build all these correctional facilities is a home for twisted-minded people. So that while they are there, they can reflect on the evil they've inflicted on society. That's one angle where society finds it very difficult to allow singles adopt.
Yeah.
But in rare cases, they do, but your track record must be checked. But in Nigeria, we do not even have database of anything. Nothing. A criminal can commit excessive crimes here, move from here to Aba, set up new shop, and start committing fresh crimes. They're going to, when they catch him 10 times, they're going to 10 different files again for him there. There's no way to link the previous to the present. This we are in a deep hole. Let me not use Donald Trump's language. We're in deep hole, very deep. You understand? So the society cannot understand it. Even kids that, yes, you bring your own brother's child to your house, you're fostering that child. The child sees you as a parent. Neighbors will begin to notice that this is not your biological
This is not your
child.
child, yes.
Because of your actions and inactions.
Yeah.
People are not blind. People say that when it comes to big buckets of water, that's the child that's carrying it, while yours is there playing football.
Yes.
So people tend to see these things and say, their
Trying
house
to
boy, they
investigate
come.
and know what is going
Not
on.
being born out.
Yes. So the conversation continues. Let's go on this quick break. We'll be right back.
In Africa and beyond, more and more people are finding Kingsprimetv, a rich hub for entertainment. With a monthly subscription fee as low as $7.99 US, you too can enjoy seamless, world-class HD entertainment that will inform, educate, entertain, and enthrall you. Join us today. Visit Kingsprimetv.com to enter into a whole new dimension of entertainment. Kingsprimetv. Entertainment just the way you like it.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we have been talking about how people perceive child adoption in Nigeria, and I've been discussing this with Mr. OAU. Now, earlier on, you talked about how these parents treat children who are not their own, who originally do not belong to them. They are not their own biological children. Do you think how they treat these children affects them? Does it increase their low self-esteem, or does it make these children want to go back to the orphanages, or at the end of the day look for their own parents?
Definitely. Anything that is not good is bad. I don't believe in between.
Yeah.
People talk about gray areas. I believe in black or white.
Yeah, so you are either good or bad.
That's it.
There's no small good, small bad.
Now, in most cases, we're talking about the will be parents treating the kids bad. There are cases too where these kids could be really nasty.
Yeah.
Some of them go to a point and they tell you, after all, you're not my father.
Yes,
After all, you're not my
that's the
mother.
problem. Yes.
Stop talking to me.
Where do they
like
get that gut from? What is the reason?
It's because you can't tell what has been placed in their hearts from where they're coming. The truth remains that everybody's born like a blank slate. It's what's written into it that will come with. People talk about bloodlines. Some people are from prostitute lines. Some people are from criminal lines.
Criminal lines.
I don't believe in that. Most times, as a Rasta man, I believe that circumstances really makes us who we are.
Of course.
If you're born in a Christian home, you are likely to 99% become a Christian. If you're born in a Muslim home, 99% you're bound to be a Muslim. If you're born into the home of a herbalist, 99% you're going to be a herbalist, traditionalist and all that. So most times these things are embedded into the hearts of these kids from where they are coming. Most times in these orphanage homes, they sit down, they dream. The biggest dream for any orphan is that one day my biological parents
Will come.
will just open that door and say, oh, we are sorry. We are so sorry we abandoned you. Please forgive us. Can you find it? That's the dream of every orphan. But really dreams really do come true, beggars will write.
Well,
But dreams don't come true. So inside their heart, they're pained. Once you are different from the general society, that difference begins to eat inside you. And then you begin to wonder, why me? Why didn't my parents take care of me? You can never be satisfied.
yeah.
Most cases when these people are adopted at a very infant stage is better. But once they've grown to a particular stage, they formed some characters. They formed some opinions about life. Water cane that you see people bend every day now to make cane chairs, tables, and all that. If you don't use it while it's still fresh, if you try, it will break. So when you try to bend a child who has already formed a character, you're bound to break the child because it will never bend. So we see cases where these adopted kids can become terrible bone in the neck. We've seen cases where they even attack the biological kids in the home because they feel those are
They're
having
different, or they have high preference.
exactly. Meanwhile, they may refuse to focus because of their mindset. After all, not be my father self, not my mother, bumble, I beg you, you know, those attitudes also coming.
Yeah. So studies have shown that in the eastern part of Nigeria, most child adoption is rarely accepted. Now, let's talk about culture. How culture perceive child adoption. You know that for some people who do not have female children, and they resort to adopting male children. Now, when you adopt a child legally, that child is yours. Why do they still deny that child inheritance?
It's not just the eastern part. It's a general norm. In Africa, not just Nigeria. It's a general norm. It's not of your blood, it's not of your blood. Imagine a king, for example, maybe from your place, having only female children. And they know that the heir apparent to the throne
Must be a man.
Now he goes, he brings an adopted kid from maybe the west or the north. And then he comes to say, yes, this is the heir apparent to the throne. The people would definitely reject it outright because this is not their blood. This is not their blood. And the same thing applies to the smaller homes. The larger family would never accept that child as theirs. If you are, should I say, a nobody, you could live your life peacefully. Nobody cares. But when you are somebody and you have made an impact in society, people tend to view you with, in fact, a magnifying lens, massive one. Which Peking be this one? From where?
Do you know your parents? Where are you from?
This one. Then you will come and sell us after. You know, we've seen cases like that.
Yeah.
So we really accept it. And it all has to do with education and exposure.
But you know, even with the exposure, there's this stigma tied to adopted children.
Exposure has levels. You could be educated, but you could be an illiterate.
Yes,
We
that's
have
why
seen-
they call educated illiterates.
Exactly. So it's not about just being exposed as you go foreign and come back and all that, that's enough. No, people go abroad every day. Most of our big men in quotes, they go abroad every day to foreign lands and they see a lot of beautiful edifices, things working, infrastructural amenities, all working fantastically well. And they move their family from here over there to live and enjoy the largesse of this life. Why can't they bring it here? Why can't they develop us? So they go there, they see it, but they can't do it. It's the same thing. You're exposed, but you cannot imbibe that exposure into your mindset.
Your mentality is still caged.
You are still where you are, but people see you wear expensive clothes, you look big, but inside here, you're still small, myopic-minded,
Okay.
small man.
So, can you adopt a child?
To tell the truth, yes, I can with the understanding of my kids because I've been in the wrong position now to answer that question directly. The question would have been, if I hadn't kids, could I have adopted?
Adopted a child.
Yes, without thinking twice. Oh, nobody, nothing. But with my kids today, I would definitely need to discuss with them,
Yes.
talk with them,
Okay.
let them understand why. But unfortunately, I'm too happy to leave those school runs, pampers,
you can-
changing this. No. I'm
But
too happy.
you can actually adopt a grown up.
No. If
Is there a
I
danger
can,
attached to it?
yes, so much danger.
Okay.
A grown up is already formed in character and mind already. That's
So you
why-
think you don't have much to do to build the grown up's character?
I can be there for a grown up. I have so many young comedians as people I can mentor. I could foster. I could be there for you. I could assist you financially, morally. You could come to me for advice and all that. But to adopt a grown up and bring into my home, damn, I'm even exposing my wife to danger now, for crying out loud.
Okay.
If it's a male, you don't even know whether it's a rapist. You don't even know what this man has gone through. If it's a female, you can't even tell what she is involved herself in. And then your daughter is exposed to another thing. Your son is. So for an adult, no, it's a no for me. But I can be there. I've always
For
been
the
there
child.
for them. And I will always be there.
All right. So finally, what do you think? What do you think the society can do to eradicate this stigma tied to adopted children?
Society has a lot of work to do.
Of course.
The work starts with orientation.
That's the word.
Orientation. The orientation cannot start from the top. It has to start from the
The
foundation.
grassroots.
Yes. Those of us who are already up here in age, forget it. There's nothing you can tell us anymore. It's just like going to teach an old man how to lick ice cream at old age. you go see beer for nozo because now so you go open him mouth like disabled. Or you carry lime, give monkey to lick. You can. Once monkey lick lime, you go see all in face change. So we can't start from the top. We can't start from the foundation, and that's what I've been praying that the government should look into now. The love we used to have, that idea of it takes a community to bring up a child, we've lost it.
Yes, of course. We've lost it.
Yeah, you can't even reprimand somebody's child. And then you expect to say, thank you for correcting my son.
yeah.
No. But in those days, when we see one uncle come, say, hey, bro, score, they come, uncle, score, they come. Everybody you take up. Because if he meets you doing something wrong, it will woes you and drag you by the ear to your parents. And your parents will handle you the more. But today, you can't correct your neighbor's child. The parents will come after you. Now you're picking. Now you born. Who send you? See, you don't even feel born your own.
Yeah.
Now, the useless picking where you born, a picking be that. And then you go like, wow. Now everybody will fence our houses round. While I was growing up in Okere Market in Warri, it was from one compound to the other. So before you know you do anything wrong, you will be well taken care of, disciplined. Somebody will just come with belt and discipline you and will take you to your parents. And your parents will thank the person. You know, but today we can't. Even teachers flogging kids in school today, some of them are being endangered because the parents will come to the school and then say they are generals in the army, they are police officers, they are top civil servants, they are being escorted, and they will beat that teacher up in front of the students.
Okay.
You know, everything has changed.
Everything has changed.
So it's not really easy for me to say I'll adopt an adult, no. But I will always be there for the adults.
All right. So what's your final word to families who want to adopt, and to these adopted children? What do you have to say to them?
These adopted kids, I will say that if you're adopted, you should be very grateful.
Yes.
Very grateful.
Yeah.
People adopt kids in criminal manners in this country. People buy kids through back door. There's an agency that is already set up for that, for you to adopt. But the normal bureaucratic system, bottleneck style of adopting a child in this country is hectic. They will ask for your marriage certificate.
A lot of things,
and they will even almost
really discourage
ask,
people.
almost asking you, where's your death certificate? When do you think you are likely to die? You know, all those type of things. So people don't want to go through all those cumbersome process. They just go ahead, pay 100,000, help me find picking, and my brother they find picking, they will buy 50,000,
They go
100,000.
to baby factory.
Yeah, and all those things. So for those who are legitimately adopted, you should be grateful, you should be thankful, you should be the best you can be to your parents.
Yeah.
Because once you're adopted, those are your parents.
Yes.
You know. And then those who are adopting, I pray God bless you. Treat these kids like yours, and I believe your reward will come when you least expect.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. I think those should be the words of advice.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. I really had a great time talking to you.
Yeah, blessings.
Now, every child has the right to be loved. Every child has the right to education. Every child has the right to a good life. So for you out there trying to adopt a child, don't be discouraged. And for everyone out there who puts this stigma on an adopted child, please, let's eradicate that behavior. Until next time, this is On This Table, showing on Kingsprime TV every Saturday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe and please follow us on all our social media handles displayed on the screen. Until next time, I am Joy Duke saying bye for now.
My name is Zubi Michael, and I have good news for you. Kingsprime TV is the latest entertainment website on your live sports, TV shows, reality shows, news, and top-notch Nollywood movies. Log into www.kingsprimetv.com or download our app on Google Play Store or Apple Store to enjoy and be entertained. Now we dey here doing this.